just to quick review here of recently posted content from last week's session and a couple of other things coming up as well. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about managing a bought call that is near full loss, some ideas on repairing a bear call credit spread, tracking the married put positions in comparison against the standard collar, comparing straddles or strangles for earnings plays. Is it better to use a straddle or strangle? We talked about the pros and the cons of that analysis. Discussing options pricing, which option has the highest theta and the highest theta decay, and can a spread or sold option end up in the money after hours for a decline? We had that discussion, I believe, for Saul last week. Just posted a couple of hours ago. Sorry for the delay. I was working on some other projects this week. So that's some of the content you can check out on YouTube. Other presentations, in addition to what we're going to discuss today, are going to be coming up soon as well. And we might talk about that a little bit later too. Portfolio upgrades. We had mentioned a couple months ago that I was going to start working with the programmers once they had some time to get some new alerts set in the portfolio for the different positions, strategies, and so forth. So Delta is now available as a portfolio alert. So you can, probability is not there yet, but you can use the delta. It's very similar. So if you originally do a spread and you set a delta at 0.2 and you want to be notified if the delta hits 0.3 or 0.4, you can now do that as well. And of course, the in the money limit, if the option is in the money or is in 1% within the money, what we do with spreads, or what you might want to do with other positions, if you don't want to be assigned on a long-term covered call, for example, you can now set the upper and lower limit for the option percent in the money as well. So those are two upgrades, and some more will be coming in the future. In addition to that, those of you that are subscribers or trial members, you might have seen the new poll pop up there in the pods. So just go ahead and make sure to answer the poll there for us. It's a drop-down menu. We can select a variety of different brokers there that you use. So we want to know what broker do you most use for options trading. So we're going to look into that a little bit in that case, to some maybe import files, not a direct broker link, but maybe import files based on what structure is there for these higher voted brokers to maybe import a portfolio more quickly to start tracking it with PowerOptions. But in any case, just make sure you answer the poll there as well. Steve. Hi, Steve. How's it going? Let's go to the questions that came in. Can the position analysis wizard be created to include possible strategies with positions based on dollar value to invest / time expected return? Possibly. And what I mean by possibly, Stephen, is that is one of the requests I kind of made for the programmers. So working with them, they were working on some other things in the background as well. And as I mentioned, I told everyone I was going to try to get the in the money, option in the money, out of the money percentage in there. The option delta is in there. I was going to work on the probability and possibly even the MACD down here, showing a MACD crossover positive or negative. And second step that I mentioned to the programmers, and I've been talking with Greg, but he doesn't have the time. They don't have the time right now exactly in that case. But what they're going to there's two requests that I've made. What is Stephen talking about first? Well, as I'm tracking any position in the portfolio, we could go to position actions and go to position analysis. The position analysis tool gives me a breakdown of the current position, where we stand, and then some rollout opportunities. As it stands right now, the rollout opportunities are sort of hard-coded in based on what we have gotten feedback from our customers for what they like to roll to in covered calls, naked puts, other positions, of course. What is a reasonable range to roll to? This one, of course, with Roku taking that 33% drop and in the money covered call, seeing a 19% decline. Hey, going to only potentially a 5.7% loss is not too bad of an idea at this point. You know, it's better than a 19% loss. This might require more management. Nothing here shows a positive rollout. So what I believe Steve is asking us, is there a way where he could plug in to say, show me any rollouts for my covered call position that take into account the dollar value to invest in time or period versus expected return, sort of a return per month. Now, some strategies, Steve, we do show the return per month on the married put positions, I believe. When you have the far out put and you're selling the near-term collars, I believe a return per month shows up in that scenario as well. But one of the things I was working on the programmers with is, number one, back to the alerts, it's a universal alert, where if you enter any covered call position, you could have universal alert set to say, yes, always set any covered call position I enter automatically set a 7% decline in the stock price if my option becomes out of the money at that time. If the delta changes to a certain range, or if my position is showing a loss of 5 or 6%, I want to close the position. That's one. I have talked about, if that's possible to do, it'll give us a template, a blueprint in a sense, to where this view here might be able to be user interactive, meaning that you could put in, show me minimum net credit, minimum net premium, minimum roll price of $4 positive premium, $5 positive premium, $6 positive premium, and so on. Far way out. I'll be honest with you. The universal alerts is going to be pretty far out as well, if we can do that, Steve. And the follow-up there with the potential for allowing users to put in the requirements they'd want to see for rollout opportunities in the position analysis view in that case as well. Now, if you're just talking about this view here, I don't think you are, but if you're asking about return per month on the fit portfolio here, that might be something we can add as a column as well. And yeah, and Sal says, interesting, the sentiment's now at a light buy, very, very light buy. What went bullish? New 52, new percentage of stock sigma, new 52 high-low ratio, 52-week high-low ratio, excuse me. That dropped into bullish. VIX, I think it's been there for a while. The trend did too. SPX number of days up is about to trigger into bullish. And what's next? Next closest one is the SPX gap over the SMA 100 and the MACD gap as well. So we've been pulling down there a little bit. And yeah, went into a light buy mode. So it's seen a couple days down, and those three indicators went into the bullish range at this point. So that is interesting. Does that give me confidence again going back into bull puts for next week now that my 3 can be closed and I still have that one open? I'm not 100% sure, to tell you the truth, Sal. I'll have to wait and see what happens over the weekend and how the market digests it Tuesday morning as well. Sal says hopefully the bulls will be back soon. Yeah, indeed, but they got to be something they have to have something to root for. And right now it's a tough little economy, and it's a tough little market. And there's a lot going on in the world globally that is causing some hesitation into those situations. All right, I just want to remind everyone that today's material are my thoughts on your questions designed for educational purposes, increasing investing performance and options knowledge. Any stocks or options discussed today should not be taken as direct recommendations or direct trading suggestions. Options involve risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Oh, I talked about this for Raphael, of course, but if you like the tools you saw today, we did look at the portfolio. We looked at some of the functionality in the portfolio, the rollouts. We looked at some of the search a little bit. We did the TNA TZA covered call search and ran a back test on that, as well as look at the custom spread tool. You can take a 14-day free trial at any time. Just go to PowerOp.com, put in your name and email address, and you'll have full use of the site for 14 days. Access to all the tools there and most of the webinars, as we showed before. After that, subscriptions start at only $45 per month for the end-of-day data. Delayed service is $65 per month. We do offer upgrades to the real-time service, and the premium includes everything: real-time, the full historical backtest tools, and more. A free education, you can view our archive webinars at any time or check out our YouTube channel. And of course, as I mentioned, we did record this presentation, and we will start cropping those sections, and we'll let everyone know when the different sections are posted and available. If you think of any other questions, please send us an email at any time to support@powerop.com or support@radioactivetrading.com. You can also call us during market hours at 302-992-7971. Of course, trial members and subscribers can schedule a coaching session. That's a free 35 to 45-minute session with myself or Ernie. We'll walk you through the tools on the site, answer any questions you have. Of course, since the market's closed on Monday, one more reminder, and it is a holiday, there won't be any coaching sessions available on Monday as well.